What's up, guys? Welcome back to Avys Designs. My name is Mike. Today I'm going to start building a flower box. A flower box? What is a flower box, you might be asking? Well, a flower box is a box that has flowers in it. It's going to mount to the house underneath a window. We'll put flowers in it and it's going to look beautiful. So stay tuned for this one because it is going to be sweet. Okay, so now I got all my boards cut to the lengths and widths that I need to build the box. The next thing I want to do is drill out some drain holes in the bottom before I assemble this box. I could do this after I assemble the box, but it'd be a little bit more difficult to get in there to drill these holes out. I want to put these drain holes in the bottom, obviously for water to drain out of this box so that water doesn't just pool up inside. I'm going to be adding a wire screen to the bottom on the inside, so that'll contain all the soil and plant material and everything. So I just want to drill these holes to allow water to escape. I'm using a 1-inch in diameter Forstner bit to drill these holes. Okay, so I got all my pieces for this box cut out to the dimensions that I needed. I got the bottom here, I drilled out some holes for drainage, and so this thing is ready to be assembled. The problem with this is this wood is not perfect by any means. This is common board at the Big Orange box. They call it common board. From what I have researched, it sounds like common board can either be a form of pine, spruce, or fir. I am by no means an expert on lumber, and so I couldn't really tell you specifically what I think this is. What I do know is it's got a lot of knots. It's definitely warped. It's definitely not perfect. So that's what I'm dealing with here, and I need to try to glue these long pieces up. I'm going to be using glue and brad nails to hold it together, and then I'm going to try to get some clamps on it. We'll see how that goes. I'm using Tight Bond 3, which is supposed to be waterproof. I don't think I'm going to put any screws in this unless things go really horribly with glue and brad nails. I'm going to end up priming this with an exterior grade primer and then also putting paint on it. So I'm using 1 1/4 inch brads. Do you guys think that's enough clamps? Me either. Alright, now I'm going to start working on the trim for this box. I came up with a fairly simple design for this trim. It's going to consist of 2 individual strips of wood. I started with these 2 strips at 1 inch. I first cut a little bit of a rabbet in the bottom of one of the strips, and then the other strip I milled down to 1/2 inch thick. And so now what I want to do is join these 2 strips together to create this entire piece of trim. I feel like this moving forward is going to be a little bit easier to work with because I plan on mitering the corners around the sides of this box, and so I want to cut those miters in these pieces as a unified piece instead of trying to match multiple pieces up and get the miters looking correct, doing it that way. So I'm going to use glue and some nails to hold that together while the glue dries, and then I can fit it onto the box and mark out those miters and cut those, and that process should be a little bit easier. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this up and put some brads in there to hold the pieces together while the glue dries, and then we'll take a look at it when it's all done. Alright, check it out. The box already has the 2 front pieces of trim added onto it. I sanded the box up, made all the sides flat so that this trim would sit nice and flush. I added the 2 front sides, and now I want to add these 2 side pieces to the top and bottom. So I had my pieces made up. The first thing I did was cut the miter on each of these blocks so that it'll match up with the front piece. And then I took it over to the radial arm saw and cut it to the correct length so that it'll fit on this box well. Next thing I want to do is add glue and brads to these pieces and attach it to the box. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Alright guys, the window flower box is all done. I built these little support brackets. Not really support brackets, they're more for decoration. They won't offer any structural support, but these will mount to the box. After the box is installed on the building, I'll be mounting these underneath the box just to give a little bit more decoration. I also went over everything with a couple coats of exterior grade primer along with a couple coats of black paint. Customer wanted black, so that's what we went with, and I think it looks really nice. The last thing that I did was add a 1/4 inch wire mesh to the interior, the bottom of the box. And I secured it in there using a couple staples just to keep it in place. Again, that wire mesh is going to allow the water to drain out those drain holes that I drilled while keeping the plant material inside the box. So the last thing is going to be to install this on the house. So I will make sure that I include pictures of the final product after it's installed, and hopefully with some flowers in it. And I think it's going to look really nice. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and make sure you like this video if you do like this video. It really helps me out when you guys do that, and it also helps me out when you guys subscribe to my channel. I have a lot more projects that I plan to get to, so I'd love for you to stay in tune with all of that. And last thing is, thank you for watching and have a great day. To the inside of this box using some staples just to keep it in place. The plant material is gonna, really keep it in place. All right, guys, the flower box, window flower box. All right, guys, the flower box.